Manifestors. Ooh, okay. So the manifestor aura is a pushing aura. Technically it's called a repelling aura, but I really don't like that terminology because it's just not what it's actually doing, right? It's pushing energy forward. So you are at all times pushing energy out, trying to make an impact, trying to make something happen. Now, when you're younger and you are in these situations where you're naturally going to initiate, naturally trying to make things happen and pushing energy, you can very easily get your wrist slapped and feel like you're told no all the time. Or when you do something, then you get in trouble for doing that thing. That pretty quickly stops you from trusting your initiating power. So the point of this video and what I really hope you take away is that you are here to initiate. You have so much power in your body, and how can you come back to that and trust that so that you allow yourself to start and open new paths that are right for you? The manifestor strategy is to inform and initiate. And it's really important that you see both of these pieces of your strategy as valuable and important. Because when you're informing, you're giving the information that is needed to make sure that the initiation can actually happen and to make sure that you can go down the path that you want to go down. This strategy is two-part because you need to let the other people in your life know where you're about to push energy. Think of it like you are this massive force that's going through things, that's doing things, that naturally causes everyone else to have a ripple effect. Literally, whether or not you're intentionally doing it, like let's take an example of if you're at the dinner table with your family and you're like, can I be excused or I'm ready to leave, and you get up and walk away, everybody else is done with dinner. Everybody else wants to leave. You just left. You just created the ripple effect of dinner's over, there's no more need to be here. That's the type of impact that a manifestor has. Because of that, you can often question, should I do this? It's going to make everybody else leave. But if you want to, then yes. So the point is coming back to, if you know you have that initiation power and you know that people can either move with you or resist you, then adding that piece of informing them really helps you see that you can avoid that resistance if you just let people know where you're trying to go so that they can be intentional about their energy and what they're bringing to the table. It can also be really helpful for you to get information, for you to know that you're making an impact, for you to know what other people are already planning around you, so that you know what energetics are moving, what things are you causing, what things are going to cause something for you. It's really important that you're aware of all of that so that it can help you to take action powerfully, so that you're not second guessing, well, if I do this, then what about that? It's like, no, I want to do this and I know that, right? Like the more information that you have, the more confident that you can be that by initiating some sort of action, the right sort of domino effect will happen. One of the big pieces of conditioning for a manifestor can be when you just are told no all the time. You really aren't meant to ask for permission, but that's like pretty hard to tell a manifestor child and their parents. So if you've been conditioned to ask or to try to get direction and have somebody else tell you what to do, then you're going to feel kind of like this constant back and forth of, I know I want to do this, but I feel like somebody needs to tell me it's okay. And that's the thing that you want to eliminate, because you don't need anybody's authority or permission to tell you what to do. All you have to do is come back to your authority. There's 3 different authorities that a manifestor can have: emotional, splenic, or ego. I'm going to explain it. Let's do this. Emotional is really you riding that wave, going up and down and getting different pieces of information at the different phases of your wave. The biggest thing about this is giving yourself time. Don't feel like you need to rush into something. Though it is on you to initiate and to create that action, don't feel like you need to do it right away. You're going to do it when you're ready, when you have that clarity and you feel pretty emotionally neutral about making that choice. The second authority can be splenic. These are going to be like those intuitive whispers that just kind of like right on in. They come once and they're in the moment, so you really want to pay attention and have a practice where you're checking in with your body consistently, noticing how your body communicates with you so that you feel really tapped into and in tune with how your intuition is sending you messages and signals. And the last one, ego authority, is your heart. For real, the best way to listen to this one is to hear what you say and to hear what's coming through when you're talking about something that you're passionate about. Your ego is that center of commitment and where you really know your desires and the things that are super important to you. So you want to make sure that you're tapping into what is important to me. What do I feel like my heart is in, and what do I feel like my heart is not in? Your heart is going to give you the information that you need to know if something is correct for you. Two of the main ways I see manifestors being conditioned is either not listening to their authority or not feeling like they have the permission and ability to initiate when they want to. So these are two things you really want to look at and kind of pay attention to them as two different forces that are impacting how you're able to show up in different experiences. How can you come back and trust your authority in your body? How can you really listen to your emotional wave, your intuitive hits, or what your heart is saying to you? How can you have that as one focus while also then paying attention to the things you want to initiate, the things you feel that you have this urge and this energy to do? Let your authority guide you on when it's correct to move towards those things, but be paying attention to how your body is responding. Manifestors experience what we call urges. These urges are when you have a burst of energy and a burst of excitement moving towards something. Depending on your authority and your definition, you may have technically more energy or more motors in your body. But really and truly, a manifestor has only a certain amount of energy. And why it's important to note that and not feel like it's a bad thing is really because as a manifestor, you are here to make an impact. You have a ripple effect of change. So you're really not meant to just like pour energy into everything. You're meant to pour your energy into your thing. Because when you do that, you are creating an energetic domino for all other types and all other people. No pressure. The manifestor's experience is really to initiate that path for everybody. Manifestors are here to start something new, to initiate what others want to do in the big grand scheme of things. So you want to make sure that you're letting yourself actually take that action and trusting that you have the power to make that big of an impact. And what that really comes down to is believing that when you have the urge to follow through on something or to initiate something or to just maybe pursue a new hobby or an activity, trust that urge. It's your body giving you that burst of excitement and energy towards something, saying, hey, all systems go, green light, this is the information. Again, you want to come back to your authority and make sure that that's what's signaling you towards that thing, but you will feel these urges and these bursts of energy, and that's what's helping you know this is something I want to invest my time and energy in, and I'm ready to initiate. The not self theme of a manifestor is anger. That likely shows up for you as being mad, being annoyed, frustrated, but really underneath it, it's this anger and this feeling of being mad and not happy about something. When you're in your childhood, this is likely the biggest emotion that you're told is wrong or that you're not allowed to have, or like you kind of feel like you're supposed to keep it to yourself. This is another way that manifestors can become conditioned because you feel like you're not supposed to have an experience that you're having. Right? It's like this feeling of like, what the f***? Anyway. So I'm just trying to normalize that for you. Anger is not something that is wrong, that you shouldn't be experiencing, that says something bad about you. Anger is a guard post. It is a signal coming from your soul trying to let you know something's not right. Can you please evaluate? It is information coming through you, giving you the awareness that you're not fully satisfied with what's going on. Things could be better. Things could be easier. Some sort of information is trying to come through. So how can you allow every time you experience any sort of anger to be a piece of information, to be something that's helping you really come back into your body and say, what isn't working about this situation for me right now? The opposite end of that, the self theme for a manifestor, is peace. So you can really experience peace and anger as these two guardrails that are trying to keep you inside of your authentic self. You want to notice when you feel angry, when things caused you to be upset or really mad about something, that's going to pull you off of your path and get you focused on that. So how can you come back into your body and find a way towards peace so that you know you're on your path? What is it that you need to find that balance between anger and peace? But allow yourself to know that it's not wrong to experience it. When you're experiencing anger, you're getting the information that you need to take the next step that's right for you. Ultimately, it all comes down to coming back to your authority, really listening to how your body communicates with you. How do you experience your authority in your body? How do you feel your feelings? How do you feel your intuition? How do you feel your heart's desires? What is that experience for you? Take a moment to really notice when those things come up. When are you getting your emotional wisdom? Are you writing it down? Are you paying attention? When are you feeling those urges and intuitive sensations? Are you writing it down? Are you paying attention? I would say the same thing for ego, but I think you get it. The point is, really pay attention to how your authority is communicating with you so that you can trust when the urges and desires come, you know that they're worth putting your energy towards. As a generator, I just always want your approval. I want you to want me. I want to know that I'm being accepted by you and your aura. It's this very interesting thing when I started to identify the different manifestors in my life. I was like, wow, there's a common theme of me just really wanting them to like me.